All right, welcome. Decision Games Campaigns in Europe, Volume 1, Drive on Leningrad. Coming here now for the Soviet second turn. Um, and basically, yeah, the Germans at the moment, it looks like wide open stuff, but we do see here that the Soviets are getting now a bunch of reinforcements, including these heavy tanks, KV-1s. So let's see if they can slow them down. Just looking at the map, it's all about victory points. Of course, the biggest victory points are here. Leningrad is like 10, and these are pretty high too. I was kind of thinking with the Germans, well, look, there's victory points down here, but they're just 3. And is that trip even worth it with their forces? Or should they try and go through this corridor, which bottlenecks? Or they could try and sweep up here and then come up. Not sure at the moment. I haven't looked at their reinforcements, but they've concentrated their mech units here. But we're here for the Soviet turn, so let's go ahead and get that going. Maybe I can get through it all in this recording. We'll see. Okay, which I am recording. Let's see. So what we do is we come to their first phase, and it's the reinforcement replacement phase that we're just repeating here. Now, some things do happen. It is now the second turn. All those constricting rules for the first turn don't apply, which means down here it does say July to October. They have 8 refit points. And now they do have 10 rail capacity, which they definitely are going to use here. Got a number of eliminated units. They can't rebuild these two. This is like a mech class core 41, cannot rebuild. I think they changed their organization after that. But let's go ahead and do their reinforcements. Yeah, here we go. And to do reinforcements, we saw at least 4 ground reinforcements. I think it's here. Nope, I chose unwisely. It's on the TEC. Yeah, here it is, down here. 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just kind of roll through each one and see where it goes. Let's see if I can fit all these windows here. Maybe not. That one's a bit over the top. Maybe I'll move that off the board for now. Let's see. All right, so let's go for it. We'll just start at the beginning. And what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just do 4 die rolls in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first roll is a 2. That's weak A. I'm going to put this on the other map here. Second roll is a 5. That's weak C. And the third roll is and then we got 2 1s. Which means they're all coming weak A for those two. And try and figure out what these units are. 4-3, that's a pretty big infantry unit. All right, now we got some more elite a whole bunch of elite units. We got 5, so let's roll our 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I got good rolls here. The first one is a 5. It's weak C. Okay, that's a Marine unit. Second one is a 4. That's weak C again. And the third one is a 2. Ooh, want to get this guy. Yep, we get a KV-1. That's nice. But then we got a 5 and a 4. That's weak C. Well, that's a bummer. So we don't get a lot of reinforcements, but on first turn here. So let me go ahead and close these here and take a look and see what they got. Wow. Okay. Yeah, weak C, they're getting them all. It's too bad that this weak C wasn't up here. So next thing we do is place the reinforcements. They can be placed on a depot or a supply source. Now for the well, here's a supply source down here. That's a tempting one. That's considered a supply source for the Soviets. Let me take a look at that just to prove it here. I think gotta go to the scenario rules for that one. Guess I could start asking AI. All Soviet-controlled map rail hexes to the east of the German start line that did not enter Finland. I guess that's the eastern part of the board. Here they are to the southeast on the Aegean boundary line, and that are east of Moscow. Okay, that means down here to this guy. That's what I interpret that as. Any friendly controlled hex within the support range of a depot located in Leningrad. Interesting. Any friendly controlled hex within the support range of a depot in Leningrad. So I can place them around Leningrad instead of stacking them all there. And here's the other one. Friendly controlled port hex that can train line of sight. And that's both Riga, because Riga's in supply, and Hanko, however you pronounce it. So those are the choices. The Leningrad one is interesting. Yeah, here's the problem. Nobody can get, just looking at the rail lines, I guess they could put somebody here, but if I put somebody here, they could kind of seal things off down here. Don't know. I don't have a lot of units to do that, actually. Don't know, but I'm going to be able to rail this guy this turn also. So let me think for a second. All right, these units are all on rails. They're going to rail to the front the best they can. Now let's go ahead and do replacement. They got 8 replacement points. I've wrestled with getting a headquarters, but that headquarters is going to cost 5 RPs. And right now, we need units. And probably the unit we need, yeah, are these non-mech class cores. 2 to rebuild, and then 1 more to increase. So, you know, what I want to do, I guess we'll save 1 point, is rebuild all these guys. And they're all going to be reduced. They come back reduced. Yeah, there's 3 of them, so that's 2, 4, 6. Now, I actually want to do this. 7. And that leaves 1 RP. So, you know, these 1-3s, I guess they can get placed again in the usual places. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 units. We potentially, and 5, 6, 7, 8. I could put one here, but that would be the end. I could put one here, but I don't think that's a good idea. So I can put these guys anywhere and they're going to rail. So within 3 hexes, they'll just all go there. And they're all going to do rail movement here. So what are the Soviets going to do? It doesn't really matter. They're not going to fight. Let's see. We left with 1 RP, and I cannot. Well, I could entrench, but I have to do that now. And who would I entrench? I could entrench this guy, but that would just be wasting an RP on that. I think I'll save it to. Well, this guy's out of supply. And I don't have enough RP for this. It's an airborne 3. Wow. So I think that ends the reinforcement replacement. And then we go to the Soviet move. Asked AI an interesting question here. First, I was thinking the Soviets had mech moves, so I was saying the way the rules are, they're not specific. They don't say if you strategic rail a mech unit. I mean, if you strategic rail any unit during the movement phase, you can't move it at all before or after. But then I said, could a mech unit after that be railed? And AI came back and said it's inferred from the unit may not conduct non-RR movement before or after conducting, and we just assume that applies to the turn. Now, it doesn't apply to the Soviets because their doctrine says they can't use mech move. So let's see. This will just be a case of, sorry, I had to check I was really recording. I have a bad habit of leaving it on pause and then talking. So the only units that can really move defensively are these three. I guess this guy can stay here. We're worried about this flank over here, though. And I can rail somebody here, because that guy has no zone of control. That's the key. So these guys could potentially be my screening units. So let's do this. This guy's going to rail to here. That says somewhere you have to do rail movement at the beginning. Now, this guy... Yeah, we don't want this guy running off to the races. And then we don't want anybody going past here, too. So this guy could go here and get a 1L shift. Or you could go here, but then the problem is, am I, well, extending too far? I don't know, because the swamp does give you something. They're probably going to be destroyed. I always pick the wrong chart. What's the swamp do? Swamp only gives 1L. But you can't use the mobile CRT. That's cool. So I was thinking of putting this guy here. And then this guy would have to shift, I guess, to here. And then this guy. And then we have our Zoc thingy. Potentially. And then we'll rail people behind them to protect them. So, you know, just looking behind this guy, a good defensive position becomes here. And then I need to rail somebody all the way up, it looks like, too. And that's all I've got. I got 2 units. I'm not going to try and avoid putting those units. Well, I could put this guy here. And then what would the Germans do? Try and avoid him? Try and go around him? Hit the flanks and then encircle them? Okay. Let's do this. I don't know this game good enough yet. I'm going to move this temporarily out of the way. So let's see. My plan is to move this guy here. And then, well, this guy only has a movement of 2, so he can't really get in the swamp. So we'll move this guy here. And no Zoc, so this still, I mean, I could just say that's it. And that's enough to slow him down. I could get a overrun, but if I keep the lines further back, that's quite a weak screen, but we've got to start building our defenses here. I don't know if I want to put somebody right here. That's too far forward. Alright, I did pause it through the move, but at least I didn't talk. Let's take a look at what I did here. I don't know where the German Panzers are going to go, to be honest. We've kind of got a defense in depth here. Yeah, I did protect this guy. I made this guy a little hard. I put the armor there. I don't know if it'll last. But this at least, they can't do an attack move, because the only unit adjacent, well, is here too. But if they did that, attack, then they'd move, and then they could only mech. That would be too slow. This is forcing them to move a move attack. And potentially if it went this way, but then they'd have to worry about their supply lines. So I'm trying to protect this from getting overrun early. And then this, well, it's going to be an interesting slog up here. So I think that's the move here. Let me clear my move marker so we can get a better view here. So yeah, there's 4 there, across the river, heavy armor. So that gives like 2 shifts, 1 for the heavy armor, 1 for the river. And I believe they're in supply. Well, they're on a railhead. It goes away, but I don't know. I'll have to figure those rules out. And this guy's kind of guarding the flank. This is just a speed bump. Both of these are just speed bumps, just to slow them down. Next turn, hopefully build some more units, and/or if this guy is sacrificial, these two may survive and be increased to full strength. We'll see. But yeah, just trying to slow the Germans down here. Up here, yeah, this is full strength. So if they're going to do another attack, they've got to. I don't know what to do here. Certainly not going to attack. So we'll leave that there. The NKVD, they're not elite. They just encourage people not to retreat. Actually, I could probably rail him. Yeah, I don't know why I put him over here. I think we had enough. I could rail him to here. I don't know. I mean, am I really worried about the Finns? To be honest, I mean, they can only go to here, and if they do, great, and they can't really attack Leningrad, so the best they could do is drive here, so, maybe I could move the NKVD unit also here. And if I did, where would I put them? Well, we're not going to, actually, that would be a case where I would try and protect my armor unit. Would I put him here? Or here? Let's put my armor unit here. And then let's get the NKVD railed. Okay, so that would go here. And then I do actually have one more unit I could rail out. If I felt I was so desperate, let's see, but I don't have anywhere really to put them at this point. I mean, he could rail. But those hexes aren't covered, but this hex is. What the heck? Let's rail him. Not to there, but to here. Get the shift. Okay, the Germans aren't going to come through the swamp. This is more to protect coming this way. Which then begs the question of why does this guy have to go here? Hold on. Okay, I think that's a wrap. Okay, so that doesn't mean I don't have to needlessly throw these people away. They can maybe get reinforced next turn if they're alive, and that guy can prevent. This guy could drop down here and then take the rail line and go on an excursion, and he's not well. In the mech movie could, but the rail lines are blocked. We'll see. All right, I think that is it. There is no fight. Which then takes us to, I believe, the end of the turn. It's got to be a faster way to... Nope, that's not it. I'm on the wrong thing. Let's go here. I don't know why the page up button doesn't work. Let's see. Movement or combat, combat or movement. No mech phase, no planes. That's it. So, we'll see. What can the Germans do next turn? Hanko may still hold on. Finnish front is quiet. And, yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe should have placed the defenses in such a way that the infantry can't get to you either. I don't know, that may have been a mistake. But then that may have been giving up too much ground. So we'll see. But at least it looks like we got a second line here. And we're going to have to keep burning refit points on getting these dead units back. Because we need units. So anyway, that's the end of the Soviet second turn. Thanks for listening. And your feedback's appreciated. I personally like to do this in bite-sized chunks and overanalyze because I'm OCD, but I do have ways to limit the length of these recordings too, but just give me your feedback there. Anyway, so thanks for listening. We'll see you at the third week here with the Germans.